Hello and welcome back to me playing Oxygen Not Included. So in the last episode, I put this together, rocket, got the inside of this. I'm just waiting for a little bit more material to be loaded, so that's copper and, not sand, but glass. We're also going to need some food in here. Now I was planning on just sending a dupe over to the other world, and then I remembered the fact that there's this thing called rovers, and I have to research this rovers module, but scientists is going to get busy on this, and we'll do that now. Oh no, we're not, because the research is not complete for it. When it does, we're going to put that inside the rocket. So we should see scientists showing up at some point. All builders doing the basic research. Putting some water into the supercomputer. I'm assuming that's coolant. Not entirely sure, or maybe their world computers work on water. Just noticed that these liquid reservoirs are full of polluted water, so I'm going to destroy these. It's just going to give me the ability to start generating even more polluted water or oxygen. And that is what's essentially feeding oxygen into this base, as well as the other base. Because this goes towards the teleportation equipment and sends it over there. As well as the rocket, too. Which currently has all the oxygen it needs at the moment. So I think it is time to get rid of all our mealwood plants. I'm just going to start to get busy on that. Eventually, we're going to be able to use meat from this. In fact, I think we already can to a degree. But, yeah, we don't need these anymore, dupes. So I'll take out these. And be back when those are gone. And we'll continue to grow food here for a little bit longer, but we'll remove those at some point as well. Okay, so I think we're ready to install a rover. So we'll build a rover's module, make that out of copper, why not? So the dupe is going to create the actual module, but once that's created, they'll actually have to create the rover separately after. Then we'll be ready to go. So some of this extra material I don't quite need yet. I've got glass in there, I've got my copper. Now let's bring in, actually one thing I really do want to have, put 4 tons, try that again, 4 tons of metal ore. We'll take copper. I'm taking that mostly just because it's in high quantity at the top of the base. Pieces sitting around right there. When this is all created, we'll be able to go. I'll choose one of the dupes. I think I've got pilot on the other asteroid, but I can either bring them over, or what's their current skill set over here? They're doing digging. Why don't I have someone else do that mission? I have to identify who that's going to be. So let's look at skills. Rancher I want to keep here. I need someone attending the crops. Miner for digging locally. Farmer, growing food. Engineer could be a good candidate, actually. Means I won't be able to build Minitronics engineering while they're away. Coffee. You don't even need to have your skills scrubbed. Let's give you rocket piloting. We're sending Coffee over. Okay, so we identified who's going to be the pilot. Just waiting for this to be created. So I'll wait for the dupes to do that, and we'll be back and be able to fire this thing off to another world and land a rover. Inside this rocket, we're going to make a few changes. This bin has to go away. Right, that's going to make room for an oxygen diffuser. We're going to start to load some food in here as well. So for food, I tried to get some nutrient bars. Looks like we don't have any. Let's go for some meal lice. Don't need a lot of it. Let's see what 1 kilogram gives us in terms of calories. So right now I can see calories available is 0 on this rocket. When we get a kilogram, we'll see how much we get. for mealwood. I think mealwood, you need a fair bit of weight per kilogram. No printables. Let's see what we can print. Salt water. Oh, exciting. So we can put in an oxygen diffuser now. Algae's already just sitting there to be put in when that's ready. Now I've got, I think the other material that is important is a little bit of extra metal, because when I take off, I want to have this food that's inside here, this ration box, be destroyed in place of a power generator. And I need to have metal or ore on this, so that when the dupes that's flying up here, it's going to be coffee, can construct that. Because the oxygen diffuser needs power. That was pathetic. Okay. Let's try 18 kilograms. It is a big moment. This rocket is loaded with food. It has algae to produce oxygen. I'm now going to say that Coffee is going to be the pilot. They're going to be the only crew member. Well, that and a robot. It's going to be deployed to the other asteroid. So this is going to be crewed. We can choose our location now. It's going to be to the edge of this world. So we'll have 2 cycles getting there, and then 2 it's going to take up to return. We can say begin launch sequence so soon as Coffee is in there. Now before we go any further, I'm just going to tell them they can take off their gas mask, and we'll watch this thing launch. As this goes off, I'm going to check the heat profile, make sure our solar panels are safe. Oh yeah, they are definitely safe. Let's look at the star map. That's going to take 0.4 cycles for that tube to get there. And we've got something to print. What is it this time? An algae wedge drywall. Okay, sure. Sure, I'll be using that sometime soon. We don't want to waste any time in space on our first mission, which is building a manual generator up here so we can power this guy to produce oxygen from algae. Coffee's just taking their time. Okay, so now we'll have a manual generator be built. That's why I want to make sure that I've got enough copper ore or some other metal ore to be able to build that. And I've got a battery in here so that they don't have to run it continuously. They can charge the battery and have the oxygen diffuser run off the battery while Coffee does other things. So it's being charged up. When they come off this thing, they should throw a piece of algae in there, and this will start producing some oxygen. But we don't really need oxygen until this thing goes out. Let's look at the star map. We are 0.2 cycles until we're about to arrive. Yes, you can just wait there in space till we arrive, Coffee. Rocket is arrived to the outside of this world. That means that we can now deploy the rover module. Wherever they're going to be deployed is essentially where we're building a base. So we're going to try to find what I want to be a good location. I'm going to take over here somewhere central. Right there. Now I'm going to have the rocket go back home. So Coffee isn't going to be standing or stranded out in space. Rover has arrived, so we can start digging. Now there's limited things that the rover can do. Can't dig through granite, for instance, and generally can't do anything that requires advanced skills on the part of the dupes. That's just not something the rover has the specialty to be able to do. build a manual airlock. For instance, I don't think they can make a mechanized door. No. We can get them to destroy this. Let's see, multiple dupes, not just coffee, and it's running out of things to do. So I think I'm going to make a plan to keep these dupes busy. Oh yeah, I want to get over here before this thing erupts. It's currently dormant, which is excellent. I don't want this thing to be running, or rather to block it off. A great task for the dupes to be able to do for me, for themselves as well. What is some local material? I'll have some granite around there. So I'm going to build here, here. Fill that in later. This robot doesn't have the ability to actually harvest this, but I just realized that if I destroy the tile underneath it, it'll effectively harvest it. There we go. So we can build a ladder. And the nice thing about all of this is stuff that's going on without the dupes even having to arrive. So I want that polluted water to be drained, dropped off lower down here. And I want to create some rooms. The more rooms, the better. May not create all the rooms necessary for morale and that. But if anything that can be done now, instead of having to wait for the dupes here, means that they have higher morale. So they're starting off with a few rooms already existing. So the rocket here has arrived. That is good news. I'm going to destroy the rover module and replace it with what I want to have be sent on the next mission. We want to have an orbital cargo module. And we'll have something else. I can't add it yet until that rover module has disappeared, because this is the maximum height of my rocket. And I've already reached that. So what I'd like to do is send some metal over the other world. To 14 tons of not metal ore, we want refined metal. Choose copper. Actually, we might want, I can see a problem with this. I need, what, 8? How much do I need to make a rocket platform? I think it's 800. Yep. I'd like to have a little bit more than I necessarily need. I'll show you what I'm thinking. If I go over to this asteroid, I'm going to have a dupe land here. Oh, let's keep this rover busy. And that dupe is going to have to supply material. Now, if I'm lucky, I'll actually be able to get the rover to supply it. They still have power. But anyway, either way, whether it's the rover or a dupe, they have to get all the metal that I'm going to be landing here. So it's refined metal. But half of it is going to go over here, and unless I build some sort of bridge or the ladder system, they're not going to be able to do that. So I want to throw enough that this half of it is guaranteed at least 800 kilograms. In order to do that, let's build a ladder up so that the dupes will be able to access any refined metal that is landed up here as well. I'm going to block this area over here off. I need to get this rover to dig into it. Nice thing about this is I currently don't have to produce any oxygen. This rover doesn't require oxygen. Got these guys in here that's producing a little bit of helium. Or hydrogen, rather. So I'm not sure if this is going to actually lead to creation of any rooms. We can actually check the battery consumption. 140 7 out of 180. Actually, that's decent. I think we still have time for this robot to create a lot more rooms from us. And the polluted water can just be emptied down there. Check temperature situation for the dupes. Should be comfortable enough. 36, a little warm, but between the cold and warm spots, it should be okay. We're going to try to keep some of the rooms away from this really cold spots, though. Don't know if insulation is something. Usually if it's an advanced item, in this case compared to the regular tile, they can't, the robot can't do it. And yeah, that's the case. Well, that's something the dupes will have to do when they arrive. Let's continue digging out this area here. Have it such that all this polluted water can fall down here and get out of the way. Now this robot is not going to be able to get up here unless it has a ladder. Got a blueprint. Oh, let's bring in a pug slug. Now, we want to utilize them by essentially having them sleep next to some wiring. So let's put the setup for that in here. We're going to have heavy watt wires go in here. We're going to separate this by room. Pug slugs are going to live in this zone. You're going to need to drop them off right there. Going to need a door so they can't escape. Ladder to be able to build some taller construction. So the main thing is I just need to make sure I have heavy watt wires here. Oh no, I've got that wrong. Remember, I'm pretty sure I should have my wiring like this. And that's going to allow the pug slugs to hang there and produce power at night. You guys are looking for something to do. Okay, I'll keep you busy. Just been adding more tiles around, but there doesn't appear to be a lot for these dupes to work on until I get some Atmo suits. Let me bring in power. I know when I do have the Atmo suits, I'll need that. Oxygen, actually. Might as well do this now, instead of saving it for another episode just because. And that's going to provide oxygen to those things in the future. Robot just needs to create 2 tiles here. Can dig out this area. I need to think about where I want the rooms to be. I'm going to kind of design around some of the wild plants. Let's look at farming view. I want to put 4 plants together to make a nature reserve. Got one. I think let's choose these 4. Because I want some of the rooms potentially to be up here. That means I'm going to have to connect these 4 in the room. I'll have to keep this one intact. Just dig out, make sure not to remove the actual plants. And essentially allow dupes to pass through a nature reserve on either side of this. Probably going to build the rooms up. All the polluted water is falling down here as to plan. I need to have room created. That's going to need some walls. I think we can make the floor of the first room right here. This could be a living area, it could be a place for the dupes to sleep, could be washroom. See an issue, we're going to kind of keep moving up until we get to this cold area. If I build all the rooms up there, so I may not build all of them. Maybe what I'll do is I'll put washroom and sleeping area on this side, and maybe the eating area will be over here. So, I was just watching this guy crawl around Drecko, and I realized they can produce thimbleweed seed. Or no, the reed fibers from their scales. I did not have to send a rocket over at this point to make Atmos suits. I mean, I want to kind of go to that rocket or that asteroid at some point anyway, so it's not a waste. But yeah, whoops. I should have been concentrating on building a place for these guys. Okay, now I remember now. They grow their scales in hydrogen areas, so I have to design a place where the hydrogen can accumulate for them. I think this is the best place over here. Let's put this all together. You're gonna want some mealwood growing in the area. So what I'm gonna do is have the pips plant some of that naturally around here. Actually, maybe I'll hold off. Oh no, that'd be fine. Let's just trap an area where the pips are gonna work. They're gonna plant some mealwood. That's gonna be the food for these guys. Because when I domesticate them, they're gonna start consuming or requiring to consume material to stay alive. Yup, completely forgot the fact that they produce material to make suits and everything else. Who is idle? Must be the other base. It may be time for you guys to come back. Either that, I guess you can just concentrate on mining material out for us. Okay, I'm gonna keep that door closed. We'll finally have this, but yeah, let's put in a spot for our pips. And a place to put some mealwood seeds. And we'll direct the pips where to plant it. We're going to want a grooming station. We'll drop pips off here. High priority. We've got lots of pips to choose from. Lots in this world. Let's wrangle one or two of those. I think I took a pip squeak. I need to do that. Also should have made these ladders low priority. So I want a bunch of thimbleweed seeds, and I want to make sure that all the other seeds get out of this room. So if we go to seeds, or not, was I saying thimbleweed? I meant mealwood. Where are you, mealwood? Yeah, there it is. Make that high priority. No matter about making that low priority. But the pips, how come the pips never got dropped off? Are we still waiting for them? Sweep this. Actually, do I have a bin that stores seeds? I think I do. Try wrangling one of the... Oh, maybe because it got put in one of these rooms. Maybe one had 5 out of 10. Okay, that might explain it. So I've got mealwood seeds in 139. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. Don't need that much. That's more than enough. So take another pep wrangle. Should eventually be over here. It's important we keep this robot busy. So I want to have a few rooms by the time the dupes get here, or the first dupe gets here. So we're going to have a place for them to sleep, a place for them to use the washroom, and possibly even have a place to eat. Though I'm a little bit nervous about the top room. Yeah, I'm going to say that's too cold for the time being. We'll just put the place to eat, the Great Hall, over here instead, I think. In order to have a nature reserve, we're going to have a park sign. Put that right here. It'll also be very nice if we can mop up. So I don't think the robot can mop. Pierre's rancher is too busy to look after wrangling this, so I think that's a sign that we need more than one skill with ranching. Coffee, you're going to be going on another mission. Maybe you're not the right one. Farmer. Yeah, we'll put critter ranching on you, since you don't have a lot to farm. And we're going to be transitioning away from farming in the next little bit anyway. So hopefully that means that one of these dupes, or one of those two dupes, will wrangle those, bring it over here, and I can plant some mealwood. I'm going to start right here and go over. Let's see if there's any other natural plants in the way. I think we're good. So I'll plant 3 of them in space 3, and then put another 3. And that was what these guys will be eating. The nice thing about wild is that doesn't consume any resources. So thanks to the pips, we have our first mealwood growing right here without needing dirt. Dupes are going to take that away, and hopefully the pips will plant the next one in time. Let's check on our robot friend. Can't build a park sign, so he's looking for things to do. Okay, let's work on that. So let's put a barracks together. It's going to be right here. Barracks is pretty easy. We just need 2 cots. 1 and 2. We want a great hall as well. So carve out a spot over there. We want to put a washroom in here as well. It's going to be showers. Design this for 2 dupes. So we put 2 showers in here, a place to wash hands. That's going to be the sink, lavatory. 2 of those. Boom, boom. And we have to have a place to store the polluted water. So put the door right here. We'll put a liquid reservoir to store that. We can even put in the pumping. So the pipes, we have to take all the polluted water. It's going to go be stored away in there. And we have to have a place get water. Haven't decided where that's going to be. I don't see a clean water cache, so I may have to make a filtration system to make that happen. That's all right. So we have the barracks. I think it's actually a little bit more important when we make the Great Hall, because this isn't going to be running initially, whereas the Great Hall can be used right away. 2 of these and the water cooler in here. We'll make this a higher priority. So the robot works on this first. And if it completely gets everything done, it can even make a fire pole. Oh, it cannot. Never mind. Never mind. But maybe we can get them to dig down here. So I've got 3 mealwood here. The pips aren't going to plant it in these next 3 here, because there's too much other wild plants in the way. If I destroy this one, the next one should be planted right there and should be able to get another 3. So that'd be 6. If I space it out 3 from there, I might be able to get 1 or 2 more in this room. Just thinking about what I'd like to have the dupes over in this world work on, and I realized that I've got iron here. I don't need that right now, but I'll eventually will, so I'm going to add that to the list of things to bring over. So that is metal ore, iron, I'm going to specify it here, metal ore, iron. That'll start to be brought over. Let's build a little ladder so that the dupes can finish mining out pieces of this. So the room for the pug slug was ready, but I've been looking around for the pug slug and haven't been able to... Oh my gosh, right where it was dropped off. I literally looked every corner of this space and just realized it was hanging out right there. Okay, alright, so we can wrangle that. That's going to be dropped off here. That means I'll start to be able to produce a little bit of power at night, which is a nice little benefit. So there is rancher, no farmer this time, wrangling them. Notice that this thing is sleeping, producing power. But because I don't have wire there, it's not actually doing anything with it. Check how we're doing over here. Got this plant ready to take this out. I'm going to start to shape this up too so that I can get a good place for the hydrogen to gather up here. So I identified an important task I'd like to have this rover do, and that is build an oxygen diffuser. So we're going to have algae dropped off from the other world. I'm getting a little bit of polluted mud in this zone. Just realizing I may have made a small mistake here. Easy to fix. Actually, let's not worry about that. Let's move this whole thing over just a little bit. Because what I want to do is have a bunch of tiles here. We're going to make them out of mesh tiles. To have these deodorizers on. They're going to sit every 2 tiles. Or every 3 tiles, I think. They're going to start to pollute or convert the polluted oxygen to regular oxygen. We may have a power room in this world, but I think that'll be something that's going to be done by the dupes when they arrive. It's going to need a wire going up and down to access that. We're going to have a wire out here for eventual solar panel. This robot here is making some progress. Let's give a battery, put that in right there, put in a manual generator. I believe the robot can build it, but they can't operate it. I don't think, well, I'm almost certain they can't build a jumbo battery, because that's just too complex for a robot, apparently. We get our showers in place. Now this is going to need clean water. I'm realizing that's all going to have to come from down here. Oh, what temperature is down there? -28. Eek. but we got hot temperatures above. That may be sort of creating it, making it stable. Realizing too that we could be losing air in the system because of this. That may be a job we want to make sure that the robot does, so the dupes don't have to do that. We're low on power though. Let's destroy these 2 tiles. I'm really hoping that this is going to be finished. Let's make this a high priority task. So I essentially want to have that blocked off. Mark that as a high priority task. If we can finish with just that, not have I can get the dupes to make the manual generator. I'm not really worried about that. If you could lock this off and then create 2 tiles here before your battery runs out, well, that's just awesome though. I would like a ladder down here, but I don't think that's going to happen via the robot. Okay, alright. Let's put 2 there, and don't trap yourself on the outside. Build it from the inside, please. Actually, maybe they will be able to make a little bit of progress down here. We'll see what happens. Say this is the priority. We can do the bathroom later on. Food is getting a little bit low. The amount of food I'm growing here is not enough. So I'm going to start by attacking some of these and getting a little bit of barbecue meat. That'll be cooked right here. Next to that, an electric grill. It's barbecue meat forever. Just to make sure we don't run out of food completely. That's when we start to add a little bit more of these. Just in case. This is making me a little bit nervous that the number of calories has gone way down. But I would like to stop relying on mealwood completely, so let's get rid of those 2. Didn't realize they were still around actually. And over here we've got these 3. Okay, so another one should be able to be planted right there. I gotta bring in hydrogen. So the maximum size of this room is 96 tiles. I might as well continue to dig this out till it reaches that size. So one of you pips, if you can plant that right there, that'd be awesome. There we go. Maybe one more right there, just for good measure. What do you think, Pip? Can you do that for us? Look at wild plants. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be an issue. Let's go check the size of this room. 92. We need 1, 2, 3, 4. We should be good. So this room is 96 tiles maximum. Oh, but that may include down there. Hold on. And we're losing some material to that, though. I'm not really. Let's not worry about that. 93. One more thing right there, and we're gonna be good. So let's tell the dupes that I want to. I no longer want to have pips there. Instead, we want these guys, the Drecko and the Drecko. Could bring those pips back to where they are, but they're honestly probably more valuable to me as meat. So it's this guy that I want to wrangle. There's probably more than one. Let's bring in the others. Or maybe there is just the one, I don't know. If there is, that was very important. Oh no, there's two more right here. Let's bring them both over. Oh, hold on. Let's not have that pip. Okay. Well, maybe I will bring a pip. I did that a little too quickly there. Forgot they were working on one more planting spot. Oh, pip squeak. Pip squeak. Pip. Oh, have I forgotten about the robot? We got lots of tasks. So even if this doesn't get complete, at least that's a lot of work that pips, or the dupes, don't have to do. Especially since this is probably going to be a low oxygen area. Build power up. So I'm going to have a pump down here and utilize the polluted water. Thankfully, we have this plugged. Oh, it's a little sad we have oxy light. Oh, we didn't clear this out. How much power is left in this guy? None. He's done. Nuts. Okay, I forgot to close this off. And I would have liked to dig this out and put it in a bit. Oh no, they wouldn't have been able to relocate that, would they? Okay, that is... it is what it is. We've done some work. We've got a barracks, part of a washroom. Have we managed a great hall? No, we wouldn't have, because I haven't been able to build this. Oh, you have a little bit of power. Okay, even though it shows 0, I did get that plugged. That's actually a nice bonus. So I'm not losing the polluted oxygen. They'll do some more tasks. They do whatever they can get done. Okay, that is really nice. So I think I'm going to end there. The robot is going to finish the last few tasks before it runs out of energy for real this time. But what I think the big discovery I made is I completely, or not in this asteroid, but I forgot that these guys can actually produce some thimble or reed seed, or yeah, thimble reed. Let's destroy 3 of these. So I ultimately want to have clippers put in here to convert their scales to something I can make atmo suits out of, and that is so that in this world I can get down here and get at the really hot oil that's in that world. But I think I'll put the finishing touches on that in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and hopefully I will see you then.